Recording. Time now is 3 o'clock p.m. The date is Monday, October 5th, the year 2020. This Superior Court of Records is now on session under Title 28, Section 636 for the review by the United States Supreme Court. In regard to case number Delta dash 1314 dash Charlie Bravo 2019011401. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce, Nahuatl Aztec, Mesozoic tribal governor. From the other side of the mountain. Nahuatl Aztec to exercise the right to protect all protective rights as contained on the record, and the right to proceed accordingly against all trespassers as contained in the record. And the right exorcis montante for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa are one of the people. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce, Coatepozo Tlayecanqui, Nahuatl Tribe Governor, King's son, descendant of King God Coatepozo Tlayecanqui, for the Honorable J. Joel Arriaga Nava. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce is an autochthon American Moor with respect to the corporate United States. Chief Tribal Nahuatl, Cismontante, descendiente de Moctezuma, born in Federal District, registered in New Spain as diplomat, is part of the real family and tribe. The entire dynasty. In blood dynasties, such as the people of Cuba, where we hereby extend our sovereignty and free the people of Cuba from any financial, judicial processes that are totally against natural law. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce is an Indian, aborigen, Homo sapiens, culto, erudito, instruito sapiente, sestui KB, Faculté de Science de la vie. Coateposo Tlayecanqui. Special Master in Common Law. Auditor on Black Law, Corporate Law, Contract Law, Equity Law, Natural Law. Controller, Auditor in Code of Banking Procedure, with a specialty in securities. Physicist, mathematician, forensic investigator, and team director of forensics investigations worldwide. Federal Postal Judge sui juris. Postmaster in command. Plenipotentiary knowledge of the quantum parse, syntax grammar, communications, and one of the people. Of this planet Earth. And speak of the living memory of this celestial Father, for the J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce, for King God, J. Joel Arriaga Nava, Coateposo Tlayecanqui, Dynasty, Nahuatl, Aztec, and Spain. Mexico. In today's court, we're going to have the opportunity to do a cross-examination of those trespassers who were warned and who were given documentation and officially through the Secretary of State of the state of New Mexico, the Honorable Maggie Tolos Oliver. process is served to the right avenues. The process was served through the state under the Great Seal of the state of New Mexico. The way the book says it has to be done. None other documents are real. In this case, in the Judicial District Court of Valencia County is an extortion. And we have the forensic evidence to prove it, and it is contained on the record. This is an investigation of 14 years. For them to say one day, oh, we are dismissing this case. We have documents. And we have a video that we posted, the first video. This is the continuance. In which now we're going to start with the prosecution on real time. This case was submitted into the United States District Court for the District of New Mexico for the judicial review in regard to violation of due process. 3 judges, 5 judges, 3 judges on the federal administrative side, and 2 judges sui juris for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Ponce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. Tribal governors, Mexico. Honorable members of the National American Red Cross and the Military Welfare Service. Protected by the Geneva Four Conventions of August 13, 1949. And Protocol 1 of June 8 of 1977. These so-called authorities were notified. Did they notice? No. Did they continue the attack? Yes. Forensic evidence of willful act of terrorism. All tribes are protected. From the UNESCO, and they knew it, or they should have known that. If they knew it, it's willful tort of malpractice and a terrorist attack, certified, as contained on the record. If they didn't know, it's negligence. But you lose either way, and you know it. Today, you will be convicted. In the eyes of the world, in the eyes of the people who hire you, and you are deceiving those who hire you. You are in violation of all titles cited on the criminal complaint. And you received the document personally delivered by the governor Coatepozo Tlayecanqui, tribal governor, written in second grade English level. And the same day, you ordered the kidnapping. Forensic evidence. We are in the midst of a legal process. You would like to call it legal, but it has nothing in it that you can fully or legally call legal. We challenge. We challenge, and you and you know, you pretended the court does not expect this kind of documents, as you say on the recording, in front of the world. Well, the court did get this kind of documents. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Bonce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa responded with a criminal complaint in relation to your wrongdoings, to your constitutional wrongs, to the compounding of this conspiracy. Everyone listed. All the trespassers listed on this attachment 1 in each of these cases. In 7 cases were not enough for someone to say, well, I think we are doing something wrong. Some of these cases have 3 rogatory letters. In any part of the country, in any part of the world, 1 should be enough. But in this part of the world, where you're operating, where you are thieving people, where you are robbing people blind, and where you have the conspiracy, 3 rogatories were not enough. You continue with the attack. You continue showing the world. And you were so naive that you didn't realize you were in the record. 7 cases. And all of them are totally one in favor of for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Bonce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. And later on, we send this judgment for it to be paid. You refuse to pay it. Is this a declaration of war? Tell the world. Say it. We will not pay. Because you are in front of the United Nations right this very minute. And you probably thought, oh, well, this never happened. Oh, we'll get away like we always do. Oh, you know, it's such an easy thing to do that that one day you say, I'm striking this from the record. Mrs. Mercer, do you speak English? Or you think you speak English? You don't speak English. You know nothing in relation to quantum parsec grammar. And I sent you an analysis, and I'm going to read it for the world. This investigation, I have probably about 14,000 pages in my notes. 14,000 pages of notes and 500,000 bytes of information. Do you think you can do that? How many can you store in your phone? Or how much memory you have in your phone? Because you are limited to that memory nowadays. You don't have memory. Can you tell the world where were you 30 years ago? How old are you, Mrs. Mercer? Judge Mercer? How old are you? Because this contract here you're prosecuting supposedly happened 30 years ago. Take 30 years from your life, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer, criminal trespasser, rapist, thief, low life, getting money from working wives, people who win their own bread. You don't win your own bread, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. And even if you were paid to do this, you still didn't do it. And I told you, you are on violation of Title 18, Section 641, misappropriations. You're getting paid to do a job that you're not doing. And then what transpired from that? Because we have these documents. This whole container, these books are 7 Bibles of your sins. And these 7 books are part of history already. And you are on it as the most infamous. You and all the judges involved in this, because I believe we have more than few judges here. I gather my case went to several districts in violation of the protective of the record and the in violation of letting this record out without any consent. And it's on the record. You're begging every single clown behind a black dress if they want to hear this case. And every clown says, no, I know nothing about common law. Hey, I'm not going to get in between it. Oh, no. But we have the biggest idiot, one colonel, army colonel. Jeez. John R. Chavez, is that all you can be? Or you went in there hoping that you will make general someday before they did away with you? For what is the reason you did away if you were doing so well, Colonel? Were you ever placed on one of those bases where they rape kids? And then you got out of it, and then you say, well, I'll start raping judges. You did. Who appointed you behind that dress of yours? Men don't wear dress. In my culture. We wear pants. But if in your culture you wear a dress to hide behind it, to get money from working wives, bring me $1,000 in front of the world when you were instructed not to do it. I hope you can see your kids in the eye and tell them, I gave you a decent life while I did a decent earning of my money. You haven't. You never have. In my document, the first document on the lawful notification, I wrote, this court is now set under the law of the Republic. If there is anything that needs clarification, come back in 20 days, 21 days. I gave you the 21 days. You had 21 days to go on and start hitting the library, the law library, where they know me, where I've been there enough for them to know me. where I've read the books that you're supposed to be operating by, and you are not. I wrote it, I put it in a document, I filed it through the Secretary of State. You are foreign to the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Once and to the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. And Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa and for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Once are foreign to you. You were told that, hey, I'm foreign, you're foreign. We don't have anything here. You leave me alone. There is a treaty. What did you do, Coronel, if you encounter a group of people and you know it? If you ever went to the right place, or they taught you to be all you could be in the army, where did they tell you, if you see somebody with a red cross, you shoot him, you kick him over the head, you put him to sleep on concrete? Where did you get that from? From General Miley? Or from Mr. Donald J. Trump? Because he's the chairman. He's the chairman of the organization that I belong, and I devoted my time and life and heart and dedication and work to look after your family while you were gone, jumping hoops for the government. Oh, I should know. What do you know about common law? They don't tell you there is a common law. Did they? Did they tell you, oh yeah, there is a common law? Did you go? I mean, I just gave you all my credentials. Did I mention natural law? And did I mention that you will be not violating natural law if you continue? What a low life you are. Prove me different. Or send me your cops with guns over here, any place in the world. Send them over. Now we are in front of the United Nations. Now send them over. Like you did. They came over here with guns. You send them with the guns. You knew it. And this one individual, this color officer of yours, came over, grabbed one of the ladders, climbed on top of the roof, and started chasing me while I was filming his trespassing. You're gonna be able to see that video. What did they do? They went back over and they say, hey, the guy is tough. He was filming, he was talking, he was defending his rights. He was saying, he even gave us a document. In the document, I'm going to read it for the record. The document says that you were kidnapping a federal judge and you didn't read it. And if you read it, now we go back again. Did the Army teaches its generals to read on second grade level? Or this is how broke they are? Is this why now you have to wear a mask? They're digging 2 cents here and there from your back pocket like they always do. Under the idea, oh yeah, you have a virus. Dr. Fauci, you are the biggest deception on earth, and I challenge you. You are a disgrace. You don't even know how to wear a suit. And I have your picture. And I'm going to show the picture to the world. Wearing a suit is one thing. Being you is another thing. The attire doesn't make the monkey. But you can have a monkey like you on a suit. You're still a monkey. And we're gonna take our time. We're not in a hurry like you were, Mr. John R. Is that what your mom wanted you to be named? R, come over here. R, your father wants you. When you went to school, did they address you as John R? I'm positive they didn't. You're hiding your name. Hookers hide their names. But they have a good reason. You don't. Coronel. Tell me something. Tell me something. What does a colonel do in the army? Violates people's rights? He gets teach to violate people's rights? To get in between, to go kick the one on the Red Cross? You're done, and you know it. So what do? You call your dad Miley and say, now you save me from this? And before we start continuing any further, telling you who you are and how much you are worth, which is nothing, and at least on regard of law, because you said it, when I first met you, you told me you were very good taking notes. And I'm going to take you back to that one day. When I continue into another case. For the time being, we're going to concentrate on case Delta 1314 dash Charlie Bravo dash 2019 01401. And we're going to take off here. Okay. Cindy Mercer, please state your full name, your full given name for the record. And remember that you are under oath. Final answer? How many names do you have since you were born? What is the name of your certificate of live birth? What is the name of your University of New Mexico law school, or whatever it is that you went to law school where they taught you how to steal, how to become part of the biggest heist? What kind of name you have in there? Your name? Cindy M. Mercer? So you were called Mrs. M? Have you ever been addressed as Mrs. M? Or your degree is written to Mrs. M? What kind of joke is this? Did I say hookers hide their names? You hide your name. I don't know the reason, but you hide your name. And then you charge people with concealing identity. Mrs. Mercer, I was kidnapped by the state of New Mexico, thanks to you all, thanks to all of this corruption. And the policeman said that I was concealing identity. I'm not going to go and agree to a name that is not mine. Is your name a bitch? No. You don't agree to that, do you? So if I go and say, Cindy Mercer, you are a bitch, you get mad? You get mad? I wouldn't. If I'm not a bitch, why would I get mad? Or why would I get mad? I'm doing this in front of the world and I'm using my freedom of speech that you violated on this bogus, cheap act of extortion. And the bank is already coming over saying, we don't want any part of it, and you know it. You've been caught. And now you don't want to pay the judgment, which is accruing at $50,000 per day in lawful money, not on garbage. As Federal Reserve note, the Federal Reserve note is garbage. You cannot use garbage to pay someone for the damage that you've caused, and the sorrow, and the harm, and the pain. How many kids do you have, Mrs. M? Are they proud of you? This document was sent to you. And we're gonna read it, hoping that if you don't have the mind, somebody else out there do. Well, you show you didn't. We send you an objection. Objection notice. Objection notice. Mandatory judicial notice. Writ of quo warranto. You don't know what a writ of quo warranto is with proof of claim and a allodial fee schedule private? Is this the kind of documents you say, oh, we're not used to get this document? Well, you don't get out it every day. But if you did, you're making case law. And this is all we want, case law. Now, under this case law, I'm going to dismiss all of your cases. I had the opportunity to meet one of your victims in the detention center. The man had a deficiency, a respiratory deficiency, like the one I have. And they put us both in one room to share one extension cord. His machine went bad due to a short circuit. The room was filled with toxic fumes. And he couldn't breathe. And the machine was taken, and we were sharing one machine. My machine. I share it with him. Because you sent him in there because you argue that he had committed something. You owe this man. And I'm going to seek that you pay this man. It's on the record. Notice to the principal is notice to the agent. Notice to the agent is notice to the principal. This is not a public communication. Case number. We give you the case number. Silence is acquiescence. Agreement and dishonor. This is a self-executed contract. You didn't get it? You do it to people all the time. You do it to people all the time. You send them a contract, send them a sticky contract. Oh, people get afraid. Oh, they say that somebody's filed again. Who? A thief? Like you? With the clerk downstairs? And Carl W. Ravestick up there sitting pretty on the third floor, just watching the numbers on Wall Street go by? What kind of operation is this? You've been exposed. And you deal with thousands, huh? You know, after all these years I'm paying for this mortgage now, the mortgage did not exist. I paid you all this money that I'm requesting for you to pay back and return. Or else, you know, your family is going to be on the street. I'm taking everything you have. And then I'm still making you a bill for the rest of it like you wanted to do it. This you do it all the time, so I'm going to do it and see if the United Nations say, well, you cannot do that. Or the International Court says, well, she was right. See how it works? The investigation is rewarding, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. When you are an investigator, you're on the pursuit of happiness. Because once you find out all you need, then you happy, because now the other side is going to be the unhappy one. And this is the time that you are going to be unhappy. We made a claim on federal court number 120-CB0013-Juliet Hotel Romeo. That's the claim under the treaties and Constitution enforced. What part you didn't understand from them, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer? What part you didn't understand from that? It seems to me like you all are very well educated. When you went to UNM, did they talk about this, or UNM is colluded as well? The University of New Mexico is colluded as well. Did they tell you to stay away if you ever encounter one of these papers? No, obviously they didn't. And if they did, well, you still lose. If you knew it, or you should have known, it's intentional tort of malpractice, and we told you not to do it. We spend hours on research. You could imagine 14 years of research. It doesn't happen every day. Have you done a research? How big of a research have you ever made? How long? And for how long? And what is the result? So we send you this from the Executive Office Occupant for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa and for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Bonce, Executor and Executrix for the capital name fiction. And along with that, we send you also a letter of rogatory. Letter of rogatory is a slam dunk, and you know it. I can submit a letter of rogatory today. It's not dismissed on 72 hours. I got a few $1 million out of your insurance. You get dumped by your insurance, you're down. Now you really have a reason to change your name. They didn't tell you that? I'm a pilot. And lives matter. That's what I've heard recently. I mean, it's a shame when they have to tell you this. Lives matter. Did you have any concern for this man? I went over there. I came over to advise him about his protective rights, and I have a video. where your people didn't allow me. I said, my God, you know what you're doing? You're doing violation of Title 18, Section 241 and 242. This gentleman here has a deficiency on the respiratory system of 40%. I've witnessed he doesn't have a respiratory equipment. Was I allowed to get in there? Now, what happened to that man? Can you tell the world what happened to that man? Is he alive today? Can you account for him? I'm gonna give you his name when you hear the video, and we're gonna look after that this man gets reimbursed. Because you don't do that, bitch. Oh, you are M. Mercer, right? So I'm not referring to you. It's just calm down. You are Cindy M. Mercer. You're not a bitch. But if I say bitch and you raise your hand, well, then we have an agreement. Isn't that all you do? In your courtroom, you call me mister, and I told you not to call me mister, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I did it on paper, but I'm going to do it now for the world to see. MR is an abbreviation and it's a noun. No means no, un means no, and no human being shall be referred to as nothing. That's why I told you not to address me as a mister, but perhaps you continue. Mr. Arriaga, you know, you don't even know how to speak. Minute 28, 3 seconds. The pseudo judge in violation of 6 CFR 37.3 calls some Mr. Arriaga Puente. I'm going to spell this for you. Alpha, Romeo, India, Alpha, Kilo, Alpha, Papa, Uniform, Echo, November, Tango, Echo. What do you make of that? You're calling some Mr. Arriaga? Who's that guy? I would love to meet him. He's being prosecuted, wrongfully prosecuted. And I can claim in your insurance that you're doing something wrong. And your insurance, what does your insurance says? No, they do it all the time. They're perfectly fine. Now, what about this other lawyer? Is asking you for another hearing in case 3, in case 1314 CV 2019000392. We sent you a note on that, and they say, and then we say, no portion of this presented is intended to harass, offend, conspire, intimidate, blackmail, coerce, or cause anxiety, alarm, or distress. Any information contrary to the verified statement will comprise a confession of fraud upon agency or court which such representation is made. This read will serve as evidence and testimony for the record. You didn't get that? Of the administrative proceeding, the claimant's sole intention is to honorably satisfy all verified claims to the complete satisfaction, and all parties close all accounts and make all parties whole. Claimants is peaceful, neutral, non-combatant. We didn't declare war. Say, hey, simply, we need to clarify this. But you are all this time in between, like the little clown, between the bull and the bullfighter. What happens? They pay you for that? Or they pay you to administrate the law? Here we're going to go into that detail. Because we told you in plain English. Claimant is a peaceful, neutral, non-combatant, autochtono. Did you Google the word autochthon? American mer with respect to the corporate United States. What part you didn't understand from that, señora? And then we wrote, notice, the judge is not trier of fact or assistant prosecution. The February 11, 2020 invalid ruling is hereby rejected. We rejected your ruling. We said, no, you cannot do that. We're not going to let you do that. Or because you said so, it's done. You couldn't challenge. And then we reserve our rights under UCC 3-402. If you don't know the meaning of 3-402, we read the law while you were sitting on the bench, and all of a sudden you say, oh, I'm just going to throw it away. You're pessimist. I get nauseated. We wrote you that as Adelina-Arriaga Pedrosa, en full life en propria persona, sui juris and lex, does affirm and say that one is the age of majority and competent to state the facts to make claims herein. This affidavit will serve as evidence and testimony on the record, and for the record to be read onto the record. And it will be labeled Exhibit A. One affirms under the penalty of perjury that this document is true and correct and complete to the best of one knowledge, and knowledge no third parties are allowed. Since when do you allow third parties? All the time. Third parties for who? Does your bank exist? Or is the same bank coming back and saying, hey, we never sold the house? Never. And the other guy saying, oh, we sold the loan. And they were saying, which loan? And then the other guy saying, oh, we're servicing the mortgage. And you say, which mortgage? And 30 years have gone by and you're still looking for them? Somebody on minute 25 and 55 seconds of this hoax make a statement in relation to fellatio cunnilingus. And you say, okay, this is how she replied. That's how she challenged the fact that for the Honorable Jesús-Arriaga Ponce and for the Honorable Adelina-Arriaga Pedrosa had reserved their rights under UCC 1-308, 103.6, and 109. Go to minute 25 and 55 seconds and hear for yourself what the lady has to say in regard to the challenge of the reservation of rights under the UCC. And then you were told you cannot uphold one side of the UCC and deny the other one, and you still did it, right? You're just showing the world what you do on a regular basis, and you are in front of an auditor, and you did pessimism. That was a pessimism. It's horrible. What you do is horrible. How can you sleep? How can you give your kids a meal? Here, finish your pizza. That's if you know it. Now, if you don't know it, now you know it. Now there'll be no pizza for the kid. Because you're going to be eating the same potatoes that I ate and that man was eating. We were both eating those potatoes thinking, well, this Josh has no authority. Who's dictating this menu? I don't eat potatoes. My doctor says don't eat potatoes. And this is all I was fed while I was there. 102 hours. How many meals I got in 102 hours? And how many kilos of potatoes I had to eat? Well, Mrs. Mercer, you're going to be eating some of those potatoes. I'm pretty sure that the United Nations are not going to bring you a special menu. Or the International Court will say, well, federal judges get arrested, they eat potatoes. Criminals over here without licenses in violation of a federal rule, they don't eat potatoes. Well, we want to hear that. For you, federal judges out there, you're sitting on the bench. You're wearing that dress they gave you. for a reason. And you swore to uphold the Constitution. Now we want to see. You're going to have to pick up this lady and say, hey, did you got this document? You were given these documents. You didn't do anything either. That's the worst part. Hey, more money for me. More insurance money for me. You have insurance. I'm positive. It is on the record. Hey, you guys keep falling off the sky like flies. This document is notarized. And then we send you some greetings. Cindy M. Mercer, I will accept your offer to attend your proceedings by way of a special appearance. There is a few things, though, that we need to clear up. Go ahead and set your hearing or reset the hearing that it was for February 18, 2020 at 11:45. Go ahead and reset it. You know, I'm not going, but if I have to, then this is what I'm requesting. You didn't reset it. Now, into the right of privacy, the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce, appointed Special Master for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. The right of privacy, the protective right of privacy, do not allow the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa to publicize their private information regarding the Honorable's health condition. Would you publicize your health condition? When is the last time you visited your gynecologist, Mrs. M. Mercer? Can you tell the world? That's private, right? Well, you were asking here that question. You were asking, oh, you didn't give me any of these reasons, and I'm not going to do it. Oh, really? Absolutely. Final answer? That's where I start getting happy. Final answer? It was obviously your final answer. Once Cindy M. Mercer is hereby compelled to present affidavit to the contrary or accept willful misconduct. Did you present an affidavit to the contrary? No, you didn't. So you accepted willful misconduct. We gave you until February 22nd of 2020, and it must have included all findings of facts and conclusion of equitable law and rebut the documentation filed on February 3, 2020, mandatory judicial notice and challenges jurisdiction, among other things. So in order to clear this matter, I have a few questions. These are termed proof of claim. And we go into the page 304, and in the proof of claim, there's proof of claim, okay, that this is an Article 3 court with an Article 3 judge presiding. Is this an Article 3 court? Are you an Article 3 judge presiding? We knew. That's why we asked. We knew that you could go and die looking for it. You will never find it. And we suggested you submit another number 2, proof of claim. This is a court of competent jurisdiction, one that can hear law or rational. Did you hear rational? At least. If you don't know law, well, we know that part. You're an accomplice. You don't use law. You don't even read law. You're a clown. You're an ignorant. You're worthless. You're sitting on a position you cannot even fulfill, and you do this every day without anybody recording your wrongdoings. No stenographics. I was there. I was there when I served you with the criminal complaint. Have you ever been served with a criminal complaint before on your courtroom where you say you have jurisdiction? Proof of claim number 3. Did you have verified complaint sworn or affirmed under penalty of perjury by one of the people? Non-existent. Who come over to you and say, oh, well, you know what? This guy here owes all this money, and we're going to make the number that we always do, and we're going to go home and eat some popcorn or mac and cheese for our kids and buy them a new pair of shoes? And this is working people that you're doing this to. People work hard for their money. How many hours have you worked hard for your money in your life? Or since when you're doing this scheme to people? All your property is going to be seized. It's going to be seized by the Homeland Security Department. Unless they say, well, we do it all the time, we never have to do this, and we'll continue to do it. Who are you? Regardless of who I am, this is what the law says. That's what I do for a living. You don't have verified complaint. The lawyer that filed this claim is a bogus lawyer. It doesn't even use his name. We took him to federal. We gave him the opportunity to come over, bring his certificate of authority, his certificate of election. We asked him to bring us his registration with the roll of attorneys for the Supreme Court. Nobody's there. Nobody came in. You didn't. Nobody did. We knew if we asked for that, you all be flushed away. And do you have it? Can you prove it? Can you show it? We requested to view the contract. Is the contract out there? We have a bank saying, no, there is no contract. There was never a contract. So dismiss this and turn yourself in for start complying with a life sentence in federal prison, eating potatoes. And if you don't turn yourself in, or if you decide to run, we have Interpol on standby, and we have your picture. You can run, but you cannot hide. But listen, if you decide to run, you will be turning your sentence into the electric chair. It's your choice. You gave me a choice that one day. You say, oh, those are your choices, Mr. Arriaga. Well, I'm giving you a choice. Turn yourself in or go sit on the electric chair. Whatever you want. Those are your choices. Fourth, proof of claim, that I will have a trial by jury, not a jury by trial, because you do it all the time. You always do jury by trial. Number 5, we requested proof of claim that I will be able to confront my accuser, not a third party representative who is in violation of 6 CFR 37.3 like you are. 4 names. You remember we said hookers hide their names, replace their names with letters like M or V, Friedenstein. And you're working together on this. This is witchcraft. And you're going to jail for the rest of your life. You never thought this day will come. Oh, we'll do it like this all the time, you know, and we have you on video. And all these videos are going to be going over there. These videos are now on full view of one. The United States Supreme Court for the United States. The Supreme Court of Justice and the Superior Court, this Superior Court, But we are celebrating this in front of them so they can see exactly. So you simply thought, oh, we're going to dismiss these papers. They're stricken from the record, and that's the bottom line. Well, you just show the world. You threw away your office and you put yourself behind bars in the process, 3 years. Violation of U.S. Code 2071. Go look at it. Hey, there is a book on it. You cannot do that. And you did it. And it's done. And you're guilty. And you're going away. Nobody can save you. Who are you going to bring me? Your lawyer? Or your dad? Donald Trump? Or General Miley? You're going to bring me General Miley and say, oh yeah, well, this is what we were told to do. Have you ever been to the army, by the way? Because we're finding out most of you are coming from that place. You can be all you can be, or be all you can be. You can be a thief commanded by the army. Coronel, intelligent, tycoon, wannabe. What does that dress mean, Judge? By the way, I mean, I can see it on the ladies well, but a man with a dress? Ha, come on. I saw you. I was kind of puzzled. I'm a gentleman. I was gonna say, ma'am. But and then I saw you, and I'm thinking, oh wow, what's going on? You took off in a hurry. You hit me with this little cliche that you always do hit people with. What's your name? And I said, depends on what is. And what do you say? Oh, we're gonna reset this for tomorrow. We're gonna let you another 24 hours of sleeping on concrete because you didn't know, because you refused, because I wrote a judgment to arrest you, a bench warrant, and you're going down. It's just a matter of time. You probably thought, well, it'll never happen. Okay, let's go back with this, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. We ask for proof that we'll be able to confront our accuser. Bank of America do not exist. Bank of Wells Fargo do not exist. They never came back and took the stand, say, hey, yeah, you owe me this money. I loan you this money. Because they know. They know they've been caught. Come on, bring it down. Where is it? We want to see it. We want to prove of claim there is an injured party in this matter and that if a crime has been committed. And for that, we prepare you a little document here that we're going to have the honor to read to you for your pleasure, for your knowledge. And I hope you're paying attention. However, by now it's going to be too late. You're still going to jail, but we have to read it to show the world which is the rules that you have to operate on, and which is the rules that you're always breaking, and which is the rules that you're always subject people to this witchcraft. We also want to prove that our unalienable rights and liberties will be protected under the substantive due process by the Constitution Section 1, of the Constitution of 1787. So you get this book and you say, throw it out there. We were told to do this and we're going to do some damage. This is how we make our money. I told you, Ravestick, you have no authority to administrate the property for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Ponce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. You couldn't challenge. Mr. Ravestick, you are a thief and you're going down for life. You're going to prison for life. Carl W. Ravestick, you are a thief. It's on the record. We gave you the opportunity to bring all documents in regard to what is it, under what authority you were administrating this kind of property, and you never provided. It's on the record. We're going to get to you. We're going to sit you in the seat where this Cindy M. Mercer now is sitting. And then we cited a few matters that needed to be judicially noticed to Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. We say the following documents will be needed in order to go forward in this matter. A. The court public hazard bonds in this case, and there is no bonds. You're operating without a bond. Therefore, you're guilty of insurance fraud. And the insurance commissioner is here on standby. And we have filed a claim to the Federal Trade Commission. What are they going to say? Hey, she's okay? So now all corporations can work out without an insurance. We can take this as case law. If it's not under, we'll say, hey, early insurance, all corporations drop the insurance now. Hey, you're going to fill it in the pocketbook. And then we'll say, if they don't have to work under insurance, we don't have to work under insurance. And we are on the front of the United Nations. Where is your insurance? We requested insurance to go forward in this matter. We requested the out of office, your loyalty oaths, your surety bonds, information of all participating in this procedure. None. We requested for the delegation of authority of the court. Not provided. We requested a verified complaint from my accuser along with a sworn affidavit. Never provided. What kind of circus is this, Cindy M. Mercer? We requested all tax bonds receipts, and we requested you form 1099 OID. Never. Where is it? We requested a 1099A, a 1099C, a W-9 tax document in consistence with Title 26, U.S. Code Section 2032, Alpha Capital, Echo, lowercase, number 11. Where is it, Mrs.? Where is it? Show the world that you're always doing it without. I'm returning all your verdicts. I'm turning back. I'm opening the jail. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to say everybody who is here under Cindy Mercer and needs to come over and need to pick up their stuff because they're leaving. You don't have any authority to convict people. You're convicting people. You're causing damage. You're stealing monies from working people. How long would it take you to make that money if you had to work for it? Have you ever thought about it? We requested from the authorization of the Internal Revenue Service to go forward with this case. Where is it? Did the Revenue Service authorize you? Yeah, go forward with this. Where is it? You don't have it. So this is the kind of papers you threw out of you're striking from the record. Yeah, we're gonna strike this from the record because we're striking it. Now we don't have any authority, but we're striking it. You want to go on that? You want to do it like that? It's case law. It's case law. Under this case law, I can open all the jails in the United States. I can say, oh, well, you know, if you ever been detained, you ever been brought some criminal charges, dismiss him. This judge did, and she did perfectly well. I don't see why you cannot do that, especially as you are one of the people. Now you're taking people's temperature. What kind of joke is this? People don't supposed to be walking into those places. You're trafficking with humans. Now you're being exposed. Human beings don't belong in there. corporations do, and everybody who will go past that little checkpoint that you have in there is supposed to be an agent. Are they? Agent for who? For the bank? So since when, Mrs., can a fake entity hire another fake entity to file these fake charges in a fake language under a fake judge in a fake building, all of this for real money? Do you also charge them fake money? Or they give you fake, worthless, garbage Federal Reserve note? People were desperate getting rid of those Federal Reserve notes on exchange for toilet paper because toilet paper is more valuable. We sent you an allodial fee schedule, and we explained to you that a willful tort committed by a public servant carries penalties. And we give you the description of the penalties because we went to look for the penalties that you were subject to, and farther from stopping, you continue. It's on the record. And the penalties we cited is item 2 is going to be failure to honor your oath of office. You owe the Honorable Jesús-Arriaga Pedrosa $20,000. Or what are you going to do? You're going to call you father, Donald Trump, and say, hey, tell this clown that I don't owe this money. Hey, did he wrote the book? Did his lawyer went to jail? His lawyer got put on jail, Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. What do you think you have power to be out of there? Who is behind you? Who tells you, yeah, do it, nothing will happen to you? Then we go into item 3, failure to honor the constitutional and loyalty oath. That's another one. Now you owe another $20,000. Well, geez, you must be making all kinds of money. You know, you're not afraid to proceed in this violation. You say, yeah, I'll pay it. And it is on the record. You proceeded. And now you're going to pay it. Now, if you're acting as a judge, one who can hear law, things are changing a little bit for you, Mrs. No, you know, $20,000 here and $20,000 there is peanuts for you. And you shown the world peanuts. So now you're subject to $100,000. And by the way, did we mention we want all of this in real money? In lawful money? Or what? You do the fraud and then you produce the bogus paper and say, yeah, here, forget about it? No. It's $140,000 right there. Seizing and detaining. We told you cannot seize or detain any private property, and then we send you the table 4 in this document. And the number 3 item, we said we will come over to a special appearance to the court if you give us $10,000. Per appointment. But if we have to stay there for every 10 minutes in accordance with a personal appearance bond must be present at the administrative proceeding. If we have to be there for every 10 minutes, we're going to charge you $2,500. And you agree? Never objected. I went to this meeting. I saw you there, sitting on the bench. I enter the courtroom. I say, is this the courtroom for Cindy Mercer? You say, yes. I said, okay. Is this the hearing for this time? And then you say, yes. I sit down. Your lawyer never show up. What a pity. We had sent him a document to come over and get caught because he knew it. We told him, hey, you show up, we're going to have somebody on standby. You're going to be taken from there. Better bring comfortable shoes. because you're going to be taken in. That's why he never showed up, not even telephonically. And we told him that. I called him up and I said, if you show up telephonically, that will be enough reason to show the world that you are using the federal communication system to commit this extortion. He never made the phone call. Or did he? When I left? I left. I said, hey, he's not here. 5 minutes went by. You're awfully late. How much is 5 minutes times 60 seconds? That's 300 seconds. If you miss your target by 300 seconds, you're done. This is a formal request and command to all to produce for the record the physical documentation of your delegation of authority as proof of jurisdiction as required by law, pursuant Article 3, Section 1 of the United States Republic Constitution. This administrative notice and demand is not intended to hinder, delay, obstruct, intimidate, harass, or in any way threaten anyone, but it simply means of invoking Recipient's Duty Act pursuant to the below quote instructions, i.e. law, cases, statutes, which apply to the recipient are in recipient's official capacity for lawful disclosure of vital need information. Should recipient not timely and fully comply with this be deemed by tacit procuration your implied consent to a change pursuant to the petition of this writ of quo warranto 63 AM Jur 2nd 5441 to your authority in a court of correct jurisdiction. Information needed. We wanted to know the information because we knew you didn't have it. Never do. If you had it, would you fail to produce it? But if you had it and you were requested and you failed to produce it, you're still on malfeasance, misfeasance. Nonfeasance. You're despicable. We ask for the out of office pursuant Title 5 U.S.C. Section 3331. Oh, where is this man getting all these numbers? Did I tell you that I'm an auditor? I've been doing this long enough I can get them out of the top of my head if I want to. But I always want to make sure that I do the right thing because I don't submit anything that it is bogus because it's for you to challenge. And you fail to challenge. And you lose. And you're liable. And you're going. This continues. We ask for the office affidavit pursuant Title 5 U.S. Code Section 3332. And or the employee affidavit under Title 5, U.S. Code Section 3333. We ask for your surety bond under Title 5, U.S. Code Section 4901. We ask for your registration under Title 22 of the U.S. Code 611 and 612. I wonder you want to dismiss this document. So I'm a judge, I can dismiss this. Who told you you can dismiss it? Well, did you know that you were violating 2071 U.S. Code Section? 2071, mutilation, confinement, concealment, tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, violation of Title 18, Section 241, 242, violation of Title 18, Section 641, misappropriations. And then we wrote that the res judicata Haggans versus Levine on 415 of the U.S. 533. There is no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. Joyce versus U.S. 474, second 215. The law provides that one state and federal jurisdiction has been challenged, it must be proven. Did you prove it? Never. We knew you didn't have it. This would have been easier than taking candy from a baby when you're an auditor. It must be proven. Martin versus Thibault 100 SCT 2501 on 1980. Jurisdiction can be challenged anytime, and jurisdiction once challenged cannot be assumed and must be decided. Vaso versus Utah, Power and Light Company, 495. Foxtrot 2 Delta 906 910. And we requested the public hazard bonding of corporate agents. All officials are required by federal, state, and municipal law to provide the name, address, and telephone number of their public hazard and malpractice bonding company and the policy number of the bond. And if they require a copy of the policy describing the bonding coverage of their specific job they are performing, failure to provide this information constitutes corporate and limited liability insurance fraud under Title 15, Section USC. How many times have we requested the insurance? And each of these judgments say, hey, for surrender the insurance, or a bench warrant will be issued. We have no insurance, but we have issued a bench warrant. You're going down. And the U.S. Marshal is watching this, unless he gets paid also from the monies that you are stealing from people, from working people. And there's prima facie evidence and grounds to impose a lien upon the official's personage to secure the public oath and service of the office. And this is in violation or pursuant to Title 18 U.S. Code Section 912. Every place you move, it's just like, hey, you're dumping this all over the place. You're on the mirror house. You're breaking your face every time you take a step, but you don't know it. Or pretend you don't know it. What a pity. Is this what they taught you at the University of New Mexico? I had the honor to go take a law class as an auditor, except nobody knew that I was an auditor. But I was there. So I wanted to see firsthand what they're teaching. And I've done it at different universities. I had the pleasure to be sitting down at the University of Mexico, la Universidad Autónoma de la Ciudad de México, en la clase del señor Adrián Polanco. When he finally says, hey, we know nothing about common law, I stood up and I took off. I needed to stay any longer. Whoever taking an oath of office, a competent tribunal officer or person in any case in which law the United States authorize an oath to be administered, willful and contrary to such oath states or subscribes any material matter which he does not believe to be truth is guilty of perjury and shall be fined no more than $2,000 or imprisoned no more than 5 years or both. And this is Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1621. Prove me different. Prove me different. Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer. Prove me different. I got it right here. I sent it to you. Did you challenge? No, you didn't. Did you stop? No, you didn't. So now you owe me what? $2,000? And here's the best part, okay? 18 U.S.C. Section 18, Title 18, U.S. Code Section 1651. Privacy under the law of nations. Whoever on the high seas commit the crime of piracy. Are we on the same page? Whoever on the high seas commits the crime of piracy as defined by the family of nations and afterward brought into or found in the United States shall be imprisoned for life. Take a screenshot, read it. Obviously you didn't read it. And this document was dated February 18 of 2020 at 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was signed, it was so ordered by the Honorable Jesús-Arriaga Pedrosa, Federal Postal Judge, sui juris, and one of the people, and all rights and liberties reserved, authorized representative without the U.S., non-domestic. Reservation on rights under the Uniform Commercial Code Section 3-402. At this point, you shouldn't think you should have stopped. Well, your lawyer didn't show up. What a chicken. Come and respond. Hey, they're looking for you. You know the ropes. You go into prison for life, Mr. Vincent Serafino. And I'm going to undo all the transactions that you have done. I'm going to ask the United Nations to have a review of those transactions. It's not that easy, you know what? You can do, you can commit fraud. I'm not going to argue with it. The question is, can you undo it? Can you undo it? It's on the record. And this is what the fake judge wrote. This matter come before the court. Defendant Jesús-Arriaga requests to vacate the hearing in this matter. The court, having reviewed request, finds the defendant a request for the vacate the 18 hearing of 2020 or about February 3 of 2020. The defendant is a request to vacate the February 18 hearing on or about February 3, 2020. The request to vacate the hearing indicates fellatio cunnilingus, Mrs. M. Mercer, indicates in means no, or it means fellatio cunnilingus, indicate on the past, indicate on the past. Where do you come with this, Mrs. on the record? Or why do you put this letter or this word into the record? What kind of language is this? Is this specified? I didn't see, I questioned that, and I rejected this document, and I said this language is not specified. I don't see the relation of fellatio cunnilingus in item 2 of the document file on this case Delta 1314 Charlie Bravo dash 2019003992. File on the Valencia County by one Philip Romero, criminal trespasser, another thief, another fat thief that doesn't work for his money. He's fat. When you don't work, you get fat. Your body is not burning all those calories you're eating fat. So on February 11 of 2020 at 3:48 p.m. There is insufficient information contained on the defendant's request regarding her health circumstances. We ask you, when is the last time you went to the gynecologist? If you ever have, you wouldn't probably answer that because it's private. And we told you it's private. Not that for the Honorable has to reveal any visit or any visits to the doctor. We simply said her health is private issues and matters. And you have no authority. So you still did your way, right? And then you sign over here. Is this how you signed your sentence to death, to life in prison? Is this your name? Cindy M. Mercer? For your knowledge, we're going to start getting into the fun part here. Minute 28 and 3 seconds of the video 1. The pseudo judge is in violation of 6 CFR 37.3, and she cites some Mr. Arriaga Puente, which is I don't know who that guy may be. So in this hearing, that hearing was for Mr. Arriaga Puente, which is other than for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Monse and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. It's not on the record. At some point you say, wait until you are acknowledged. I'm still waiting to be acknowledged. Please acknowledge. And acknowledge that I'm not the party at interest. And acknowledge that this case was dismissed under those grounds. I got it dismissed. Discharged with prejudice in federal court. And you were given the opportunity to challenge. What kind of efforts did you make to come up with this name? Or any other name you use on that building for that matter? Minute 28 and 37 seconds. The fictitious name Mr. Arriaga. Now Arriaga, another different guy in there. Arriaga, A, Alpha, Lima, Golf, Alpha. Forensic evidence that the criminal impostor pseudo judge Cindy M. Mercer, Charlie, India, November, Delta, Yankee, Mike, Echo, Romeo, Charlie, Echo, Romeo. All listed with the initial Mr. Which is a noun. Would you like for your mom to be referred to as a noun? No, she's a noun. She's a no-no. Or your father. If you have a father or if you ever met your father, would you like for that to be happening to your family? You do it all day, every day. You do it all the time. You don't, and you know it. We have forensic evidence that you're a criminal, you're an impostor. You don't have an oath that satisfies the Article 6 of the Constitution. You're in violation of 1 Stat 23, page 1, section 1. Go read it. And it's on the record. and you are in violation of Title 4, Section 101, you're doomed. You have no authority. Everything you do is fraud, and you know it. And you're in violation of Title 15, Section 1692E. And see, Title 15, Section 1692F. And all the titles I listed, 21 titles at bridge we sent you. 21. We add it all up, we will have probably about 30 some million dollars, and then you'll be going to jail for some 30 years. And we're going to go and attack your insurance. We're going to say, hey, look, you allowed to this? You insured this lady? Now we're going to say, oh, well, she doesn't have any insurance. Then we'll come over and place a building over there at the 13th Judicial District Court to get you all out of there, tell you to stay home. You're going to be in jail. It's pretty close right there. You're going to be in this same jail. No, we're going to get you to Guantanamo. We're going to place a restriction order on you where the Guantanamo prison is the place you need to be. MR, what you call the Honorable, I told you, don't call me Mr. MR, don't call me Mr. MR is a no. No means no, and means no. A double negative. Negative is minus, and minus is nothing. Nothing is multiplied by Google. Plex is still nothing. And you are nothing. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Ponce, and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, UCC 1-308, 1-103.6, 1-109, Federal Postal Judges who are one of the people, is never mentioned in regard to any filings on the Superior Court of Record or your bogus documentation. Show it. Judge, how is that a pseudo judge, district judge, has no authority to overturn standing decision of the Supreme Court of the United States? One imposter judge, pseudo judge, in violation of Title 4, U.S. Code Section 101, in violation of 1 Stat 23, page 1, Section 1, and in violation of 6 CFR 37.3. Violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1341 and 1342 for mail fraud. Of the U.S. Code Section 13.1 and 1341 and 1342 mail fraud. Violation of 31 U.S. Code Section 3802. Write it down. Look for it. You're done. False claims and statements liability under Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1342. Violation of Part 273 of 39 CFR and all titles at bridge stated on the Superior Court of Record to all counsel of record trespassers correspondence listed on attachment 1 of the case number captioned in the criminal complaint 120 Charlie Bravo 0013, and you have copy of it in this Superior Court of Record and the United States District Court for the District of Corporate New Mexico. Forward. By what authority you overturned the standing decision of the United States Supreme Court, Judge? Now you are in front of the United Nations. Now you are in front of these 3 federal judges. Now you're in front of the Superior Court. Now you're in front of the Superior Court of Record to the Supreme Court for the United States. Under what authority do you overturn standing decision? These are standing decisions. They've been standing for hundreds of years. And you can overturn all this law. I read it to you while you were sitting on the bench, Judge. Answer the question. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce, Federal Postal Judge sui juris and one of the people presiding in this Superior Court of Record, I read the law to you. You were sitting on the bench in this case. Now, how do you, a wannabe judge, an impostor criminal in violation of all these titles that I just mentioned, can overturn the standing decision of the Supreme Court? Hey, how can you do that? You have no right to overturn the standing decision of the United States Supreme Court for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, Federal Postal Judges sui juris, and one of the people. And I'm going to explain to you why, because I took the time to write it down. I wanted to read it to you. You needed to be told in front of this international court and in front of the Permanent Court of Justice, in front of the Federal Court of Claims. And for the publicized rules of criminal procedure for statutory jurisdiction, can the lower court provide the Superior Court with a record with the location of a copy? Where is the location of a copy of the published rules of criminal procedure that you are using for statutory jurisdiction? Come on. Present it. Where can I get a published rules of criminal procedure for statutory jurisdiction? Can the lower court provide me with that, judge? Pseudo-judge? Wannabe judge? The Superior Court of Record with the location of a copy. Where is the copy? Show me the rules. Now, minute 29 and 45 minutes, or 45 seconds, the lower court instructs Mrs. Sanchez to prepare an order of the court from September 1st of 2020. Hearing by the lower court will review the same and will be entered. And if it is consistent with the order of today's court, so you can send a copy to Mr. Aria Ponte. Where is the document? Mrs. Sanchez was still waiting for the document because we took a video, and you better be careful what you write on it, because everything you do will and can and will be used against you in a court of law. Or where is the paper? The judge here gave you an order 30 days ago. 30 days ago. I mean, this is from the 1st of December. What's today's date? October 5th. 35 days ago. If you don't do it in 72 hours, you're doomed. You're done. 72 hours is the time that you need to comply. 72 hours is the recession law. You didn't do it within 72 hours, therefore you are acquiesced, you are at fault. You're not writing anything, are you? And if you are, please bring it down. In fact, we're going to ask you to appear. We're going to sit you on the stand. And if you run away, then we're going to sit you on the electric chair. Minute 19 and 30 seconds. Question from the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce. Is this a judicial proceeding, Judge, or a statutory proceeding? Everything stops. You cannot proceed any farther. I just stopped the show. Now until you tell me that information, and then we'll proceed. I mean, I understand you say you want me to get counsel or to be represented by counsel. Does counsel do not represent Mrs. Cindy M. Mercer? Counsel do not represent. Since when you can be represented by counsel? Attorneys at law do that very well in conjunction with these corrupt judges, and they do it in order to extort people all the time. So how can this council can come and represent a federal postal judge to a juries, a governor, tribal governor? How can this guy here can say, "Oh, I get my authority because I'm going to do this because this clown says that I have to do this"? This is the deceiving practices that I'm after. So what kind of proceeding is this? Criminal? Civil? Civil criminal? Criminal criminal? Civil criminal? Which of those can be? And what kind of lawyer are you going to recommend that I get? Or for the honorable, for the federal judge to get a lawyer? You're an idiot. You're asking a federal postal judge to go get a lawyer? How can you subject a federal postal judge on the juris corpus secandi? Minute 22 and 51 seconds. For the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Ponce, demand to see the contract before any proceedings. Where is the contract? Contract law is contract law. You don't have a contract, you don't have anything. The contract makes the law. Where is the contract? Who entered into a contract? We requested a contract. They have no contract and they know it. We requested the contract from the bank. We requested the contract from Ben Carson. We offered $2.5 million in lawful money in exchange for the contract. Where is the contract? You're all operating without a contract. Do I have a contract? Does anybody has a contract? Can you do contract law without a contract? Tell the world. Tell these judges over there at the United Nations, at the International Court. Oh yeah, we do it all the time. We're using contract law without a contract. Is this how the United States Army operates? And then you run your flag over there with the gold fringe. That flag is a toy. That flag is being void. The real flag has an eagle, not a phoenix, and you know it. And you put it in your courtroom as a military flag. You fly the military courtroom. You fly a military flag inside the courtroom where you are extorting people, and the army is letting you. We retain the army. We retain the army responsible. The armed forces of the United States are responsible, and we wrote it. For General Miley, you ever get one of these papers, sir? You cannot say no. We sent you these documents. Sent you these documents, sir. Can you read? Do you read English? Please state your full name for the record. Your full given name for the record. We told you that I was kidnapped for 102 hours without the right to bond. And you did nothing, General Miley? But you came out on TV saying, "Oh, I got medals for defending people's rights." Who gave you these medals? Who fooled you? Like they fooled these kids on schools. On public schools, kids are being fooled. Students are being fooled on high schools. They are being told what to do, and these kids don't know any better. But you are bringing false and misleading statements into the record, and therefore you're violating Title 15, Section 1692E, among all the titles that were violated in the criminal complaint. And then we sent you this analysis of the language, mister. Can you say you speak fluent English? Answer the question, yes or no. Have you told the world you speak English? Okay. Answer the question, yes or no. No is an adverb. Law becomes a verb. It's a neutral. Or negative fact becomes negative verb. Also, fact is a noun. Do you understand? I didn't mean to lose you, Bill Gates. But you've gone over this one a few times before. And you still think you're the genius? We're going to tell the world, yeah, this is the genius. Shall is a pronoun. 4.9 is on past tense. Connected to adverb 1, which is be. Adjective 3, converted into an adverb. By the fact that pro is a no, no means no, and un means no. Shall is a modal. Tried. 2.8, past verb. 1. Past time. In means no. When used as a single sentence. In means no. Court. Court is an adverb. Makes court a verb. Is there a verb court? In the deposition, 1. Of. 2 is law. A verb or a noun. No. No means no. Un means no. So we have of, adverb, and law. Law is a noun. So law is a no. You probably felt like an idiot that you are when I sent you this paper, because I'm still waiting for you to reply on it. You have no idea what you're saying. You are not telling anything what you claim you're saying. Especially those generals like Juan John R. Chavez. Did you talk to him on this language? So here, let's go back. I hope I'm going to do it slow this time, so that I don't overwhelm you little brain, you little worthless brain that knows nothing different than to rob and extort from people, working people, that is. So in short, we have an adverb verb, dash, negative, verb, equal negative, fact, pronoun, and past time, connected to be transforms to be an adverb. Therefore, tried is modified to a verb. In past tense, which is 2.8, now is an adverb, modified into a verb. Of is an adverb, modified law into a verb or a noun. Law is a noun. Go to the dictionary. Law is a noun. And if law is a noun, no means no, and un means no. So no law. What kind of law do you operate under? Kind of jurisdiction, what kind of jurisdiction you operate under? I know of one law that you can speak of is the law of gravity, but the law, the natural law, is the one that you will never be able to defeat. Law is a definition, the system of rules by which particular country or community recognizes a regulation of the actions of its members and which might enforce by the imposition of penalties. What kind of member do you think I am? What kind of member do you think the people are? People are not members of your witchcraft. Which it might enforce by the imposition of penalties. Penalties, you're going to pay penalties. You've been imposing penalties for too long, improperly, illegally. A rule definition, correct procedure or behavior in a sport. That's a law. And you're not playing by the law, by the way. We have an audit. We have 7 books of books. This is the biggest research ever. It took 15 years. And we have our panel of experts. And they cannot be wrong. We invested thousands of hours. Synonyms: rule, regulation, principle, convention, direction, instruction, guideline, practice does not state its applicability to people. Where in your book says, yeah, you can apply this law to people. Definition of applicability: the quantity of being relevant to appropriate. This case has raised questions about the applicability of local laws to the people of foreigners, trespassers, listed names. Now, we have one jurisdiction, ladies and gentlemen. We have birth law, birth court, birth tried, birth law, birth fact, in one jurisdiction. Call it fiction, fraud, illusion. You must believe in Galacto, General Miley. You must believe in Galacto. Do you believe in Galacto? Answer the question. Do you believe on ghosts? Are you a ghost? What are you going to tell the world? Yeah, this man needs a mental evaluation. You need a mental evaluation. When you do this willingly, you need a mental evaluation. But you know, since you did it willingly, and this is cleverly stated or cleverly engineered to extort, and then you are fit to stand trial. We wrote this to you, Mr. Miley. Privacy Act statement, sworn statement for the use of this form AR 19045, the proponent agency. And this is filed with the Federal Violation Bureau. Authority: Title 10 U.S. Code Section 301, Title 5 U.S. Code Section 2951, Echo Oscar 9397. Social Security number. Don't put no Social Security number. We don't have a contract with those people either, with those clowns, with those thieves. They take the money and they reject the application to people. And people have to do without because they claim, oh, you don't qualify. Well, show me the full disclosure statement. Your contract is no, valid, invalid, bogus, fraudulent, thieves. The principal purpose of this document, criminal activity involving the U.S. Army. You didn't get that, mister? You didn't read this paragraph? Take your screenshot, world. You can get this form. Send them this form every time. See what they do. The document. Principle and purpose: to document potential criminal activity involving the U.S. Army and to allow Army officials to maintain discipline. General Miley, what have you done about this? Routine uses